$83 million on the table, 24 Group 1 winners lining up, 9 countries represented, 4 top flight races. This is Longines International Races for 2016, and they're all trying to emulate greats from the past.
River Verdens grabbed them in the Hong Kong Invitation Cup, races away from Prudent Manor.
Sunline, the Mare of the World, wins it from Very King Prawn. Silent Witness draws a length in front of National Currency. Silent Witness, what a champion! Cheer, one of the world's great fillies. Weeze aboard, runs away. Half a length in it, Vengeance of Rain fights and wins.
He is world class. Secret Kingdom's roaring away to beat absolute champion. Good Barber, will this be history? Yes, Good Barber swamps them. He's swan song of racing. He's waving to the crowd, Lord Kanaloa. Big Red is starting to lengthen. All 1,300 pounds of him, and away he goes. Able friend from last has put play to them quickly.
Highland Reel, Aidan O'Brien, his first victory in the Hong Kong bars, and Highland Reel defeats the defending champion.
Some great memories then of years gone by, and we'll see if we can replicate that again on Sunday. So the 4 Group 1s to look forward to kicks off on race number 4, and we get things underway with the Hong Kong Vase and defending champ Highland Reel back $16.5 million on the table. We move on then to the sprint. Peniophobia back to defend his crown. That's at 2:40 local time. The mile, can Able Friend regain the mile trophy? $23 million. The prize money goes up and up. And then we finish off 4:30 local time with the Hong Kong Cup, and Maurice and HKIR, both on their final starts, do battle once more. That's what we've got in store for you over the weekend. I'm very pleased to say I'm joined here by Kevin Blake and Steve Moran. And Kevin, we'll start with you. All 4 champs back, and I'm sure a favourite of yours, Highland Reel in the Vase.
Very much flying the Irish flag. I think he was absolutely brilliant last season, wasn't he? You know, the first 3-year-old colt to ever win the race, and it's great to see him back. He's had a wonderful season, it's a very international season. I think I read his air miles in his career, 125,000 kilometres. You know, only Steve has had more air miles than that, I think. So he's been a wonderful servant, and it's great to see him back. And you'd have to say he looks to have an easier task this year, I think, than last year. Draw hasn't been ideal, but very hopeful.
Dangerous words, saying everything's easy on Sunday, I think, Steve. But another possible fairy story with Maurice on his final ever start.
Absolutely, and intriguing to see Morris step to the 2,000 metres, of course. Undefeated in his 2 previous runs here at Sha-Tin at the mile. And Highland Reel, as Kevin referred to, I've probably travelled a little further, but he's much better performed. And he's been one of those genuinely admirable horses, isn't he? He's not the best we've ever seen, but he's high on the list of being, you know, just revered for what he's done, coping with that travel. So many different countries, you know, doesn't seem to matter, track condition.
No.
And he looks to probably have this race at his mercy again.
All right, well, we'll get to the selections in due course. We'll have a look at the starters for the Hong Kong Vase. Starting off with Highland Reel himself, came off a Breeders' Cup win. Last year's champion Silver Wave. He's on a bit of a comeback mission. Big Orange on his way from Australia. Satono Cramp, Joe Moreira getting the leg up there. 1 foot in heaven. It's been under a bit of a cloud this week. Keshwa from Singapore. Got Benzini from New Zealand. Eastern Express for John Size. Anticipation for Tony Cruz. A successful trainer at this meeting. Yola Accord and Smart Lair, the other Japanese runners involved there. We've touched on Highland Reel already to a certain extent, but tactics-wise, maybe the best place to start. Does he have to lead?
No, I don't think he has to lead. I'd be interested in Kevin's opinion, of course. You know, last year he drew grade 9, this year 10. He'll roll forward. I think Big Orange is the logical leader. I think they'll be quite happy to take a sit on Highland Reel. I think the race will unfold for him very well. I wouldn't be shocked to see Helene Happy Star wanting to have some of the early action as well. So I think there'll be sufficient speed early to allow Highland Reel to slot in, possibly 3rd or 4th.
His 2 best performances, in my opinion, anyway, Kevin, this year in the King George and in the Breeders' Cup, and his competitors just giving him too much rope. But I mean, that's not going to happen on Sunday. But he is quite versatile, isn't he, as far as that's concerned?
He is. You know, I think he was probably a little bit underestimated those days. You know, there were more fancied horses in against him, and I think that they left him alone. And they gave him plenty of rope and they hung him, you know, and he hung his opposition, I should say. He was absolutely brilliant at the Breeders' Cup. I'd agree with Steve. I don't think the horse needs to lead at all. and I think Ryan is on the best horse in the race. He can afford to not commit immediately out of the stalls. You know, he can see if Big Orange wants to go forward. I'd imagine he will want to. Whether he's quick enough to get to the front remains to be seen. He's obviously a horse that stays very, very well, and whether he has quite the early toe to get where they want him to be early on will be the question mark. But if he's not quick enough, I'm sure Ryan will be happy to cross and get away with going as slowly as he can in front.
Yeah. You touched on Helene Happy Star there, Steve, of the locals. I mean, they have won this race, dominant won it a few years ago, but they do seem to be up against it, don't they, as far as the international is concerned?
Yes, he was very much the exception to the rule, of course, dominant winning the race. I couldn't see one of the locals winning this year. Helene Happy Star's lead-up runs have been useful. He's got a couple of decent 2,400 metre runs in his CV. I thought Flame Hero's lead-in run was excellent too, but could he win this race? I would doubt it. Eastern Express Anticipation are probably open to some further improvement. They're both sit-handy runners drawn inside. They'll get lovely runs. I wouldn't be shocked to see a horse like Eastern Express or Anticipation flop into a place, but I couldn't see them winning the race.
There's a horse who comes here with a lot of ability and 1 foot in heaven, Kevin, but under a bit of a cloud this week, and there's something unique, well, not quite unique about him, but a bit special, is he's out of a previous winner here at the meeting in Pride.
Yeah, Pride, an absolutely fantastic race mare. Yes, I believe it was a touch of travel sickness perhaps, but it seemingly has got the all clear and has been lucky with the draw today as well, drawn 4, which is favourable, and I definitely give him a chance. It was a fine run of the Arc, I thought. To finish 6th to Found was a lovely run, has obviously got back to winning ways last time, and you know, the pace situation will be important. If there is a good bit of pace up front, if they all keep each other honest, that'll certainly play to his strengths, and he was certainly in the mix for me.
Yeah, you certainly got to take him on trust, and we trust Alain Duroy would make the right decision as well. We talked about the pace angle to a certain extent. It may well come from Big Orange, and his trainer, of course, is Michael Bell.
Michael, Big Orange runs in the Vase on Sunday. How's he settled in here in Hong Kong?
Yeah, he's settled in well. He was a bit lonely for the first couple of days because he was on his own in the barn, but the other English horse, Growl, is with him now, and he's very happy, and it seems in good order.
Just looking at him, he's of course been to Australia a couple of times, been to Dubai, and now here. He's obviously a horse that handles travel well.
Yeah, he does. I think he likes the warmth, that's one thing, and he's grown up so much in the last year. Melbourne last year was his first trip abroad, first trip away from Newmarket, and it was a bit daunting for him, but you know, this year he's become more and more professional.
It's a race of the European horses have a great record in. You're taking on the defending champion Highland Reel. How do you think Big Orange will measure up against him?
Well, Highland Reel is a very high-class horse. He's got very good form in England, better form than Big Orange. If Highland Reel performs to the best of his ability, he should win the race. But, you know, as we all know, horses aren't machines. If he underperforms a bit and Big Orange can find a bit, who knows?
Well, not quite conceding defeat there, but realistic. Highland Reel's got to have an off day if Big Orange is going to win. Yes, it was certainly Michael's opinion. I think Big Orange would be better suited on a more testing track than here. I'm not sure that he's quite fast enough to win a Group 1 2,400 metres around Sha Tin with continual turns. He'll run bravely, and it might be, the double whammy. Maybe he's the horse that might be underestimated. And if they let him alone with a very soft lead, he would want to kick 800 metres from home. Yeah. Otherwise, he'd be out-sprinted. But I think he can be competitive, certainly. Yeah, I think he's a forlorn hope by any stretch of the imagination. Kevin, a horse we haven't touched on yet, Silver Wave. Disappointing run in the Arc, so is it a big ask for him?
It is, I think. And you look at his record in big fields and it wouldn't inspire you. You know, a lot of his best form seems to have been in smaller fields. And just something to bear in mind with both him and 1 Foot in Heaven is horses training Sean T. There's been a very notable illness doing the rounds in Sean T all summer. A lot of the big trainers there have been struggling. It applies to Andre Fab as well. There's Lyme disease and there's equine flu, well established, and some big trainers that were struggling through the summer months. But there are green shoots of encouragement, so it wouldn't be unheard of for some of these Sean T-based horses to show a little bit of a pickup now towards the back end of the season. Some of them already have, but it's something to bear in mind. All right, let's certainly give my selections a bit of a boost. And quick word on the over record as well. Runner-up behind HKIR last year. Yeah, she has to be respected. Credentials at the distance via the Japanese Oaks. 2 visits here, she's run well, certainly the better run behind Asian Hikari, but she's travelled well, she's acclimatised, she's pretty durable, and I think she'll certainly run well. She's certainly in my top 2 or 3. All right, well, speaking of top 2 or 3, we need a top 4 from you, Steve. Yes, you'd like to be a little more left field, but I think Highland Reel is simply superior
to his opposition here at Sha Tin. He should be winning the Vase. No great value, but hopefully he kicks us off to a good start. 1 Highland Real to win the Vase from number 13, Nuovo Record, the Japanese mare. She'll run very well. 2 Silver Wave and 3 Big Orange. 1 to beat 13, 2 and 3.
All right, I think we're all going to be swimming in the same direction here, but Kevin, for the record?
Highland Real, number 1 for me. 1 Foot in Heaven, number 7. Satono Crown, number 4. And Helene Happy Star, number 5, will be my 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, well, I'm with Highland Real as well. I really can't see the champ being beaten coming back. 4-time Group 1. I think he'll make it 5. Nuovo Record, the biggest danger, who's drawn okay. I think we'll get back and stay on. 1 Foot in Heaven, hopefully, can overcome the problems from this weekend. Big Orange as well, expecting a big run from the front for him, Michael Bell and Damien Lane. So 1, 13, 7 and 3 from me. So that's the Vase taken care of. We'll come back with the sprints in a moment, plus a feature on Hong Kong's leading jockey, Joe Moreira.